think about the lifetime value of what the relationship with that client would be.
Totally.
Buyer's journey. So when it comes to the box, what's the buyer's journey like?
Yeah, I just had a big conversation about that. Like, we recently just changed the website. And I'm always thinking, like, when we run an ad, when they click on that link, and Mike talked about it a lot, the buyer's journey. Like, where are they going after they click on something? Like, what's the intent?
And we're back. Welcome to the latest episode of Commerce and Chill.
I didn't do the thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, she already gave the intro.
Now we're back. Welcome to the latest episode of Commerce and Chill. I am Jessica Johnson Cope.
Waleed.
And we are happy to have you back. If you missed the last episode, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think you're trying to grow your business if you
Press
missed the last
pause
episode.
button. Go find the last episode. We were
Watch it.
talking to Mr. Mike Allen of Solo
Shout out
Social
to Mike.
Marketing, who just celebrated his first anniversary.
1 year anniversary.
1 year anniversary, helping small businesses understand how to better market themselves and to get their business, get the attention of the most people for their businesses.
Solo Social Marketing is a marketing firm that I started about a year ago. We provide done-for-you services, done-with-you services, and what I like to call tell-you-what-to-do services or consulting for small business owners to help them get the edge over their corporate counterparts and be more competitive in their marketplace. And kind of what I found, the reason this all came together in the win-win relationships is working with so many of these small business owners and micro businesses and entrepreneurs. What ended up happening a lot was either the marketing wasn't getting attended to at all, like they knew it was important, but they just didn't have the resources and the time isn't really a good one, but they didn't put anything into it, or they were just getting outspent by their larger corporate counterparts like crazy and thought that what they were doing had no impact whatsoever. So I was like, that's not true. You can be scrappy. There's things that you can do to compete with them. And you don't necessarily have to beat them. You just have to win the share of the market that you're trying to get to where you want to be. So I started this business to help them do that.
So we wanted to take a few minutes today to drill down into what Mike said, just in case you missed the episode.
We're going to unpack this thing for you.
Exactly. So on the episode last week, Mike talked about the big five, or as I like to call it, the Hive Five of marketing plan.
Okay, so there's the big five that you need to start with. These are 5 things that you can't compromise when building a marketing plan. The first one we've already covered, that's the ideal client. So this is, you always hear marketing about like putting the right thing in front of the right person at the right time. This is the right person, right? So this is, and let's not confuse the two for anyone listening. Like there's a difference between your ideal client, your target market, and your market. Your market is anyone that could buy that product or service from you. Your target market is people that are more likely to do that, but your ideal client is people that are perfect for you. So if this was a gym, the target market might be like, Julie brought in her aunt and her aunt never left, but she's not the ideal client for you. She's just a customer now, you know? She's an imperfect fit that made their way into your business. And of course you're going to take great care of them like any client, but they're not ideal. And you're building the ideal avatar here. Then is the buyer's journey. So this is the path, right? So the right person on the right path. We need to give them opportunities to buy from you, and you need to give them a structure to follow for that to happen. And that's what a buyer's journey is. Think of this as their version of a funnel, right? So if anyone's ever built a funnel, you put up an ad and it went to a landing page and they opted in. And think of that experience from their end, and that's the buyer's journey. Like, I'm unaware of you. Now I know who you are. Now I'm interacting with you. Now I'm giving you my information in exchange for more value. And then after that, the third one is offers. And this is the right opportunity, right? So this is putting the right thing in front of them. And the reason why this is so important is because when things aren't selling, this is usually the number one reason why. So if you have an offer that you put out and for whatever reason the market's not buying it, say it's your Black Friday sale or something, it's either going to be almost always your offer, next your messaging, and then third, but very rare, would be a targeting issue. So you need to have those 3, and then you need to have strong messaging because that's the right motivation, right? That's what compels them to take action. And then you need a consistent execution so you can get in front of them at the right time. Because you might be on Instagram the day after I had posted that, Wally, and you might have never seen that. But if I'm posting consistently, I can get that in front of you at the time where you're ready to buy and in the right place in your buyer's journey. So ideal client avatar, buyer's journey, great offers, strong messaging, and a consistent execution strategy.
High five.
There you go. to break it down very quickly, number 1 is the ideal client. Number 2 is the buyer's journey. Number 3, offers and the right opportunity. Number 4, strong messaging. And number 5, consistent education. Execution.
Consistent education is important too, but I think for this one, it's execution.
Consistent execution is more important for that marketing plan, that marketing strategy that's going to get attention, that will lead to sales, that will lead to growth, that will lead to scaling in not just Mike's business, not just our businesses, but in your business too. So Cope, some folks might hear those 5 areas and not understand how that applies to them. Can you give the folks in Commerce and Chill Land an example of what the Hive Five is for the soapbox, and just pick one facet, like if sneaker cleaning?
Well, so the one that jumps out to me the most is the ideal client.
Okay.
And Mike touched on some good points with it. And I've struggled with that, especially on the laundry side. It's just like, it's not, the key thing is ideal client. People just think, oh, they hear ideal client is like, who's the buyer? Who am I going to sell this to? But it's not just who would buy, because some people will buy it like maybe once or twice, like a month, or depending what the frequency of your service or product is. But then you have those who will purchase your product or service on a regular basis, like they're getting it on a weekly or monthly basis. So the ideal client, when I hear that, it's who is the perfect client customer for your service or product, who's going to utilize that product or service on a reoccurring regular basis, identifying them and then going all in and targeting them, putting the message in front of them. So that's the one out of the 5 that really stands out to me. Mm-hmm. And we struggled at the box with it because our service is just it's broad. Like everybody wears clothes and everybody needs clean clothes. Some people just don't want to clean their clothes or choose not to wear clean clothes.
They don't want to do it themselves.
But everybody falls within, like we had this conversation about family member who has an event planning business. Mm-hmm. And potentially everybody is a client for them or a customer,
right?
But it might not be their ideal client. Like they do birthdays, they do weddings,
they do funerals.
They do funerals.
They did a real good funeral celebration of life for a famous singer,
right? So
if I said who it was, y'all don't know, but okay, I won't.
But that might, like doing birthdays, sweet 16s might not be the ideal client, but they do them for whatever reason. So yeah, that's the number one, the first one, ideal client. That really hits home for me.
If you guys are small, solo, and scrappy, what you need to understand about social media is really like where you fit in on a shelf for all those businesses in your market. So if, for example, you need to know this kind of gets into something I'm sure we're going to talk about later. But one of the foundational things that you have to understand to do any type of marketing whatsoever is a deep, deep understanding of your ideal client avatar, right? So like you need to know who you're trying to communicate with, who you're trying to talk to in your market. And in this case, it becomes very important, where are they and where are they active?
And I'm going to drill down just a little bit when we speak about ideal client. When I think about the ideal client, it's not just a client that's easy to get, but the client that will lead to what happened?
I was going to say, like, that's not easy to get, but I just thought of one thing, like, the client that you have a great relationship with, like, not only do they pay the invoice, like,
pay you on time,
you like working with them. Like, that's not even, I wouldn't even call that the ideal client. That's like my dream client. I love them.
You love them? Yeah. Well, I love the measure of a customer lifetime value.
Okay.
Right? Because sometimes in business, especially in small business, we like to look at things from a transactional lens.
Totally.
Like, let me get this one sale, hit it and quit it.
Terrible.
Right?
This is not Tinder. This is not Tinder for business, ladies and gentlemen. You can't just swipe left and swipe right and then be like, next client. No, you can't do that.
So in marketing,
that's not long-term.
Customer lifetime value, or CLV or CLTV, lifetime customer value, is the prognostication of the net profit contributed to the whole future relationship with a customer. There can be a prediction model with varying levels of sophistication and accuracy, ranging from the crude heuristic to the use of complex predictive analytic techniques. Long story short,
What the
long story
frack was
short
that?
is once you get a client, what does that client mean in terms of potential revenue over the lifetime of the relationship with your product or your brand? So as an example, we have family members who recently welcomed a baby and they're part of a subscription to a retailer to get their diapers and wipes. So over the
Getting all my
lifetime
money.
of that relationship, the retailer is going to get lots of wipes and lots of diaper sales because baby likes to eat and baby likes to poop.
And have a clean bottom.
And mommy likes for baby to have a clean bottom.
And so does my nose.
So is your nose. And depending on how things go with this baby, they might have another baby. And if they have another baby, it's likely that they would also get
Use the
that
same- right.
subscription.
So that
when you're
client's
thinking about
value
your
is huge.
ideal client, think about the lifetime value of what the relationship with that client would be.
Totally.
Buyer's journey. So when it comes to the box, what's the buyer's journey like?
Yeah, I just had a big conversation about that. Like we recently just changed the website. And I'm always thinking like when we run an ad, when they click on that link, and Mike talked about it a lot, the buyer's journey. Like where are they going after they click on something? Like what's the intent?
Think of your homepage as like a choose your own journey based on awareness of where the person is, right? So if I go right now to your website, maybe I've never heard of your business, right? So that is a zero awareness. Like I have to learn about the brand. I have to learn about what you do. I have to figure out like, maybe I just stumbled there. I don't even know why I'm there. But they're Coca-Cola. Everyone's heard of Coca-Cola, right? So like that, what they build on their homepage is going to be very different than what you put on yours. So your homepage is level of awareness. When someone's going to a landing page, they had to get there somehow. So that there's not a missing level of awareness. Usually they came there from an ad, or they came there from a link, or they came there from a partnership affiliate or something. They're there for a reason. So homepage and newsletters are two areas where you can have more than one call to action to let people take the desired action that aligns with where they are in their buyer's journey. A landing page is where you've built the journey and inserted that person right where you want them in the funnel. So this is like, if I want you to buy my course on lead generation, I don't have one, I'm just using this example. If I want to sell you my lead generation course, I'm not going to send you to my homepage because the homepage isn't selling you my lead generation course. I'm going to send you to a sales page, which is a form of a landing page. Typically, squeeze pages and landing pages will be opt-ins with lead magnets, and sales pages will be where you're selling the product, usually. So if I'm going to go to that sales page, everything on that sales page is going to be there to capture my attention, motivate me to take action to buy this product and get working with you. If it's a lead magnet, everything there is going to be selling me on opting into whatever that lead magnet offer is. So they're just different.
And in the beginning, I like created an ad. Like we've had some ad do some crazy stuff on Facebook and Instagram in a good way, crazy stuff. But then the conversion was like super low because we didn't take into account the journey. Like they click on the link from the ad and it just takes them to the ordering page. And then I was like, well, if I'm going to buy something that I'm getting introduced to for the first time, do I really just want to click the buy button or the subscribe button? Like it's like taking somebody home on the first date. Like you're not trying to court them and get to know them. You're trying to close on the first date, which is bad. In some cases, it might be okay.
It's not bad. It's just maybe it's.
But I'm not giving them any information if they just click and the link takes them right to make an order. But if they go to like a landing page and then whatever that ad spoke about, like sneaker cleaning, and that landing page talks about sneaker cleaning versus that ad taking them to the website and they see dry cleaning, laundry, and sneaker cleaning. They go to a landing page that speaks specifically to them about what was in the ad, sneaker cleaning. And then that journey is much more informative, educational. And then they hit the buy button because now they understand how the service works, how we clean it, or they can drop it off in the store, or they see the ad and they're like, well, I'm in DC, like your store's in Brooklyn. But the ad speaks to, you can mail it to us, versus someone who's locally and gets the ad and says, oh, I live 2 miles away. I can drive there, or I can take the bus or ride city bike there.
Right.
So the journey, yeah.
Right. And then for us at Johnson Security, there are a couple of different pathways that a buyer can take to get our services. In many cases, it might be a competitive bid, or somebody just say, oh, just send me a quote. I already know I want to work with you.
Somebody just sends an email and says, I need services at my mansion.
or at my club, my bar. But what's important is when we talk about the buyer's journey, right? That understand that there may not be one solo path to how a buyer reaches you when they're trying to buy your products or services. And the more information that you have about that journey, the better you can target, the better you can research, and the better you can deliver on what the need is. So it's crucial that as you market your business and as you try to grow your business, that you understand the buyer's journey. Is it one step? Is it two step? And if you're not sure, do a focus group. Talk to some of the people who've already purchased from you and have them talk through the different steps that they took in selecting your product or service. That information can be so valuable. Give them a gift card and send them some cookies, and then use that as you try to understand the buyer's journey for other people, organizations that are buying your products and services. You talked about the sneaker cleaning business and the difference between understanding if someone is out of town and we need some mail their shoes, or if somebody is 2 miles away and they can come pick up. So talk about number 3, offers and the right opportunity.
Yeah. So, Mike talked about it a lot, and this is something that we're working on, and I'm actually going to have some follow-up conversations with Mike. We've been DMing and emailing.
So if I'm like opting into this offer on a Facebook ad, and then I go to this landing page and it's your homepage and not a landing page, and they're completely different. You were talking to me about this over here, it had this branding and this coloring. Well, the landing page should look the same, so I know I'm in the right spot. No one should ever land somewhere and question if they're in the right place for the right thing. That's how you know if you've done it well or not.
So structuring the offer. And I'm not a huge fan of, I see a lot of times where you get our service and it's 20% off. Like, I'm not saying I don't want to give deals and discounts and incentives, but I just see a lot of businesses look like they just giving the farm away. Like everything is, get this for $10 off and get this for this. Like, and if that's the only way to incentivize people, we have to figure something else out, because you're just giving away money.
Well, that sounds like if focusing more on the promotions, the promo side of things. But if you're offering a strong product and you're speaking to what the buyer needs, then you won't have to discount unless you want right,
or you run, depending what your service or product is, that might be built into how your business is. Like, it's you build in promotions and products, and obviously I hope you're taking that you're factoring into your cost, so it's built into your pricing model. You're not just discounting it just to be like, we got to do it, and then now you're losing.
Right. When I think about offers and the right opportunity, that recently we started with a new client, and we're used to a specific model where clients will ask us for an hourly service. They'll tell us the hours they want people to work, and then our people will show up. We'll schedule them. But this new client, they call and they're like, send us somebody now, where they want more of an on-demand type of service, which is not our traditional business model.
Right.
If we're understanding what the potential is in the marketplace, we may find that more prospective clients want on-demand services. And if that's the case, we can create specific offers and opportunities for those clients in that situation.
Totally.
And capitalize on that as we market it, and then lead to item number 4.
Strong messaging. I could probably go so many ways with that, but I'm just going to say, like, the message is clear, concise, and speaks to exactly what you want the buyer to know, whether you're educating them or you're telling them to use that service. Like, it's a strong, compelling message.
And depending on where you are, I mean, for you guys, you might need to do that. But for a lot of these guys, you probably don't even need to do any detailed targeting at all. If you're slapping a 3 to 5 mile radius around your brick and mortar, if you're in like Manhattan or San Jose, California or something, you may need to do a little bit more detailed targeting. But for the other metropolitan areas, it might be a little smaller, or for most brick and mortar businesses, you can literally just put maybe an age range and a gender, if that's applicable to your ideal avatar, if that matters. And it doesn't always, that's why I say that. Then you can include those details. But really, I think you can have a ton of success just by finding the right message and putting a 3 to 5 mile radius around your facility. And that should be your number one goal as a small business owner still trying to figure out paid ads, is get the right message and ad working and just make it work with that little radius. And then you can do some finer tuning on that stuff, but it's probably not necessary for a lot of them really low.
When we talk about a strong messaging, it doesn't have to be verbose. It doesn't have to be a lot of words. It could even just be in the images and in the video, but make sure that whatever you are putting out into the marketing universe conveys who you are, what you have to offer, and how that meets the buyer at their point
and what
of
they
need.
get out of it. Like that should be part of that strong messaging. What is in it for them?
Right.
Not just what's for you.
Right. And then lastly, item number 5 is consistent execution. Now,
Keep doing
if
it.
you've been rocking out with Commerce and Chill for a while now, you know that we are up to episode number
95.
95.
96. Look at
and
here,
we know
look at here.
most podcasts don't make it past
And
episode
we only got 10 subscribers and we're still going strong.
15.
Nah, I'm lying.
Most don't make it past 50.
Yeah.
I thought it was less than that.
There's some stats where it's like most podcasts don't make it that long
Yeah.
because it's consistency. And
Right.
people get discouraged. Like they don't see the numbers ticking up. Like, yeah. Oh, look, we just got another subscriber. We're at 11. So, but we still going 95 episodes.
The key is you have to be consistent. You have to
Please
show
subscribe.
up and you have
Please
to
tell somebody to
execute,
subscribe.
right? So you can't just say,
Share this, please.
"Oh, I have an offer, nobody
I
bought
would
it."
appreciate it.
Well, if you didn't
Pretty please.
market it, then you can share.
Hit the share button, please.
Why are you whispering?
Because you're talking. I'm whispering. I'm
Strong messaging.
No, this is subliminal messaging. I'm convincing people through when they watch us on YouTube or BronxNet or listen to us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe. You know you want to subscribe to Commerce and Chill. It will make you smarter.
It will make you smarter if you subscribe to Commerce and Chill.
Strong messaging.
Right. And so, what else did you have to add for the folks about?
I said strong. I said consistent execution. Like you start it, keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We all know it. Listen, it take 9 months to make a baby. I don't care if you get 3 people pregnant at the same time. It still take the same amount of time, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not
disagreeing.
It doesn't shorten.
I don't
the
know where
process.
that came from, but I'm not disagreeing.
I don't know. I heard it somewhere, but it makes sense. Like it takes 9 months to make a baby. It doesn't matter how many people are here comes.
Okay, so here
comes a disclaimer. I'm in trouble now.
Good day, everyone. Ms. Taylor and Ms. Johnson, you both claim that you were pregnant at the same time with the defendant, Mr. Barber's children.
Yes, Your Honor.
You argue that he has not been a father to your kids and refuses to support them, but takes care of his other child.
My point is, it takes 9 months to make a baby. Even if multiple people are pregnant by the same person at the same time, you still can't it doesn't shorten the time frame to make it. It's still 9 months, no matter what. So when you do something, commit to it, stick with it. It takes time. It's going to grow. Like we've just got 12 subscribers and look, it's 95 episodes. It takes time. You got to stick with it. Who knows? It might never go to a certain number. I don't think it won't, but it's just,
Bring it back.
You do it.
Bring it
You
back.
stick to it. Stay consistent.
So, I like to
Execute.
share relevant quotes.
Give me some stats.
According to the U.S. Small Business Administration, 47% of small business owners run marketing entirely on their own. Unsurprisingly, almost half of all small business owners are running their marketing efforts entirely on their own.
Oh, I know that feeling.
And small business owners inevitably end up wearing too many hats. As a result, they can often end up operating out of their wheelhouse. I say all of that to say, Mike Allen had some great tips, a lot of knowledge in a little episode. So I encourage you to go back and watch that episode. We just wanted to highlight the 5 top tips, the high 5 for your marketing strategy. And then second stat is the SBA recommends spending 7 to 8% of your gross revenue for marketing and advertising if you're doing less than $5 million a year.
Where do I start? Build organic relationships with people on IG/Twitter or run paid ads?
You run paid ads, but you run them
Nothing
well.
else said.
Here's what I'm going to say about paid ads. It's not. So, can we take a minute to talk about this? Is this okay, guys?
Go for it. Okay. Take as much time as you want. This is super valuable, paid ads.
So with the paid ads, like all these entrepreneurs do the 80-20 rule, but they all do it wrong with paid advertising. And so what ends up happening is they put 80% of their time, effort, and resources into building the single perfect ad. But what you need to do is put 80% of your time, effort, and resources into testing what the perfect ad could be, and then 20% into building that. So here's what I mean. And this is just, if you want to learn more about this, I would look up Rudy Maurer, I think is his name, because that's where I sparked this idea from. But you take all of your messages, right? So the first thing that they're going to see is going to be your hook. And when you write that hook out, right, maybe it's, if this is fitness, it might be lose weight or get stronger, whatever it is that they want, the outcome that they're looking for, you're going to build that into a hook or a headline. CoSchedule.com has a great headline analyzer that you can use to help you with that. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to make that my image. I'm going to make that my headline. I'm going to make that sentence or that statement every single place that they see is going to have that line. And I'm going to do all 15 or 20 of them I have under one campaign. And I'm going to see what the results are. And over the next 3 days, I'm going to spend $100 testing those. And what you'll see is quickly, you'll see a couple that are way behind. You can turn those off, right?
Yep.
And you'll have probably a top 3 that win. And these are stupid ads, right? They're just the messaging. But this is how you learn what's important to your market and what wins, right? You can talk to them with the same thing over and over again if this works. So now you take the top 3 and you take those top 3 and you go, all right, I'm going to give this one 3 different visuals, this one 3 different visuals, and this one 3 different visuals. You run another ad and test that. And then you take the top 2 of those and A/B them against each other, and that becomes your final campaign. So you need to spend a little bit more time up front testing things and experimenting so that you are not guessing as much, because all marketing is your best estimation of what's most likely to work for your market until it's been confirmed. And you have to do the digging.
We already talked about how many small businesses, especially small businesses of color, do less than $1 million a year, solopreneurs. And we want you to be able to grow that. So you have to invest. And by spending time, spending money, marketing, you can do that after all expenses. So that's what we have for you today. Go back and watch the last episode. Hit us up. Let us know what other questions you have. And we look forward to bringing you more content that's going to make an impact and more great guests that will help you build, grow, and scale your small business. And maybe next time we'll get in some fun banter about the married life.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just no more talks about you get 3 people pregnant at the same time.
I didn't say me. I'm just saying in general, the
general.
math. But yeah, I knew that was going to be a problem. I'm going to get in trouble
in
now.
Commerce and Chill. I'm Jessica Johnson-Coe.
I'm Waleed.
See you soon.